How's it going? And welcome to the Caffeinated Coordinator podcast, where we are brewing up conversation for the second week in a row. My name is Scott Pellegrin, also known as Coach Pell. Joining me from the other side, the line of scrimmage. He likes 20 personnel, gap scheme, and likes his passing concepts like he likes his ribs with a little bit of rub. My man, Coach G.
What's up, Coach? How you doing, man?
I'm good. And throwing it over, our third man in the booth, producer, technician, master of ceremonies, and also, we didn't mention this last week, our freshman football jack of all trades, Coach Brownfield.
Well, thank you.
What kind of coffee you sipping on this morning, man?
Ooh, straight out of the pit stop on Highway 44, a little community cafe special, smooth, flavorful blend with notes of caramel and cocoa.
Oh.
Only I can make gas station coffee sound good, right? No, what do you got, man?
I got the Big River House Blend this morning. Stopped in this morning. I was like, "What?" They got a couple of selections. So looked around. They had the pecan. They had the French vanilla, and then I saw House Blend. I was like, "Let me keep it basic today."
I love it. Coach Brownfield, what about yourself?
Community breakfast blend. Although I prefer this here, the dark and bold espresso roast.
I've never had it before.
Oh man, yeah, that's.
It looks like it'll kick you square in the butt.
That's motor oil. Yeah.
Motor oil. Does it stain the side of the cup? Chicory?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
What about this Christmas blend? Does it taste like a candy cane?
It's a little no. It's a basic medium. It's bright. But it's full bodied and it's actually really good. It's probably just cafe special. Put it in another bag.
I got you.
You know.
I'm gonna have to get y'all on the king cake blend with the notes of cinnamon and vanilla.
I might have to bring the pecan probably next
The old
time.
Mardi Gras season. But anyway, welcome again to the Caffeinated Coordinator podcast. What about last week? What about the feedback? What did y'all get from the fans?
No, I sent it to a couple people. Some coaches, some non-coaches. And the biggest thing was like, man, this is awesome. Like, I guess being able to hear your friends or somebody in something that you listen to every day. Now you're listening to your friends and what they have to say. There was really no negatives other than they just wanted to see our beautiful faces. Like that was I think the worst one was like, man, no video. They just want to see us, Coach.
Hey, if you want to look at my face while you're listening to your football talk, man, more power to you. We're going to give the people what they want. Coach Brownfield got us set up with the video shots today. I can't wait to see the finished product. I actually got a text from my mentor, first head coach I ever worked for, Kyle Lassane out of Edie White. And he said, man, that is real talk for real coaches.
That's awesome.
Real talk for real coaches. It was. I think he enjoyed the banter. He's a bro though. He's he's the type of guy you could drink a beer with and draw on a napkin. Like he's that cool.
Yeah.
So
that's some clinic talk right there.
Yeah. That's speaking of tweets. I don't know, but yeah, Kyle really enjoyed the real talk and kind of the candidness that we were able to bring to the table there. So. That was high praise coming from him because I respect the hell out of him. So that was awesome. Brownfield, you got anybody who reached out to you?
Yeah, it was the same thing. It was no video, and you put a podcast on YouTube, and YouTube has a whole section for podcasts, and a lot of people do put podcasts with no video up there. But I think when people go to YouTube, they expect to see something,
right.
So
that makes sense.
And they like the logo, but I think 42 minutes of it was probably, maybe a little too much. So we still got the logo hiding. It's around, in a lot of these camera shots. And but yeah, the video and definitely, I think it makes a difference as I'm watching it right now as we go. Yeah, it already makes a difference.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Well, look, Pell, let's get us cranked right here. Okay,
all right.
Let's start with something. As coaches, there's sometimes you gotta make a decision on the fly. Right then and there. It's third and short. You gotta call something that you think is gonna work immediately. So we're gonna do a little rapid fire. We're going through this practice organization with this episode and organizing a practice plan. So I'm going to just name off some topics that you would see in a practice at some point, and I want you to tell me how many times during a in-season week you would do this.
How many times during an in-season week?
So like week 1 through 10 or week 1 through 15, if you're talking playoffs as well.
Okay.
How many times during the Monday through Thursday do you touch on these things?
All right. And folks, this is completely unrehearsed. He told me there would be a rapid fire segment, but intentionally kept the topics from me, like every offensive coach does. I ain't gonna tell you what I'm running today. No, go ahead, man. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Win sometimes, man.
I hear you. I hear you.
All right, so here we go. First one, 1-0 versus 1D.
1-0 versus 1D. So 3 times a week.
3 times a week. Okay. One-on-ones, that'd be wide receiver, DB, and O-line, D-line.
1 to 2 times a week.
1 to 2. Special teams.
Every freaking day.
Ooh, got the chills. What about 1-0 versus scout and 1D versus scout?
Every day.
Every day. Trick plays. Whether you're the offense running the trick play or you're the defense working trick plays that you've seen on film that they do.
I'll go from the defensive perspective, once a week.
Once a week. Conditioning.
Ooh.
I tried to mix in the hard ones.
Conditioning's so tough, but for the sake of the segment, I'll go every day.
Inside drill.
Once a week.
7-on-7. Scale.
Once a week.
And last but not least, individuals.
Every day in decreasing increments.
That's good. Now, that was a great rapid fire. Now, I'm sure we'll be touching on every single one of these as we move on. So I think it was a great way to introduce the organization of a practice plan.
Okay, well, while we're on surprising each other, I got a little rapid fire for you.
Uh-oh.
I jotted down a couple of ideas just because I figured I might need a few. And don't give me a number of times. Just give me a couple of words for each one in relation to the first thing that comes to your mind. A little psychology test here.
Oh, okay.
Good on good.
Man, you caught me. So good on good, you're talking 1-0 versus 1D.
1-0, 1D.
I think it needs to be done early in the week. I think you need to find ways to compete earlier in the week with them.
All right. Individuals.
Every day.
Scout
every
team.
Single day. Scout team, every day.
Working Sundays. Oh, my kind of people. All right, that was it. That was it. I just jotted down a few. So let's jump right in, man. Let's go into the general Monday to Thursday. Obviously, prepping for a Friday game.
Right.
For the sake of simplicity here, but walk me through your Monday. What are you working on? Why are you working on it? Is there inside and scale? Are there one-on-ones? Is it a shorter day? But for the sake of conversation, we'll assume JV is played on Wednesday, and Wednesday is your cut the JV on day.
Okay.
Just for the sake of simplicity.
Are we using the in-school block as well?
Yes.
Or are we just talking after-school practice?
Yep. We'll use our current situation as a guide here. We have, for those who don't know, we have a block system. So we have 90-minute classes, roughly, give or take. And most of our JV is played on Wednesday, sometimes Tuesday. But again, for the sake of conversation, we'll say JV's on Wednesday.
Okay. Well, so Monday, it's kind of I call it, or I treat it, and I try to get the kids to understand it's the above the neck day. Above the neck is your head. What's inside your head? Your brain. What do you think? You use your brain. Okay, so I'm going to try to instill and install everything into their brains on Monday, get all the thinking out of the way by the end of the day Monday. So with the block, I would say almost I wouldn't even watch film on Monday with the kids during the block. It was straight just, hey, this is what we think is going to work this week. This is how we're going to do it. This is what we're going to kind of base out of. We're going to look at a few things. And after that, I mean, we obviously work out in the block as well on Mondays. So when we get to practice, the two main points I got to hit in practice on Monday are my coming out from -5, -10, -20, and my gotchas. My gotchas are my trick plays. Doesn't necessarily have to be an actual trick play like a flea flicker or anything like that. Just be something where I think we need to get a big chunk of yards at once. You touched on those at the beginning. That way, if you don't like the way it looks, you can hit it again on Tuesday. If you still don't like it, well, then you can wash it. If it looks a little better on Tuesday, well, now you have Wednesday to kind of be the tiebreaker. So that's on Monday, obviously with the rest of the game plan, but I think the biggest two things in my opinion are coming out and gotchas. What about you on Monday?
Monday, heavy emphasis on base downs and favorites for their offense. And I know some people subscribe to Monday needs to be a shorter day because it is the above the neck day. It is largely a mental day for everyone. However, I think Monday is a full practice. I think you keep your short day. Now, it could be focused, it could be chunked and timed however you feel is necessary for your program and for your kids. But I think it needs to be a full, long day of practice. So we're focusing on base downs and favorites. What are they doing 1st and 10? What are they doing 2nd and medium? And that's where we talked about mama last week. Always go home to mama. This is where we work on what their bread and butter is. And as coaches, we need to identify what their bread and butter is so that we not only can get the kids aligned and ready for that, but I like to say we chase rabbits, we don't chase ghosts.
Right.
Meaning rabbits are real, ghosts are not.
Right.
So part of chasing those rabbits is we're going to find what they do best, we're going to align to it, and we're going to run to it. We're going to run through that. And the way we do that is I like using the PE period for introducing the game plan. I make slides with everybody's alignments on them. And it's not long and drawn out. What I do is our base stuff, so we call cover 3 green. Okay? Well, green is not in the slides in week 10. Green might be on the slides for week 1, but if I feel like we've mastered something in our own playbook, then I just put the game plan adjustments on the slideshow. That way it's less stuff for them to sift through.
Right.
Because the longer a homework assignment is, the more intimidating it looks. So some weeks it might be 5 slides and it's just general alignments.
And when you say adjustments, you're talking more of along the lines of like a spinoff of 3?
Right.
Gotcha.
Or they align in something that we haven't seen a lot of.
Gotcha.
For example, we have a trips check out of cover 3. Well, if they give us out of 21 personnel, receiver, split receiver, tight end, wing, that's still 3 receivers to that side. So we're going to go over, this is still our coverage, but this is how we line up in our coverage to that because that's not something we've seen every day. Now, if we offensively are a team that runs that a lot, then that might come easy.
You'll see it in the spring and you see it in the fall camp.
There you go. So
you
so
got
that,
4 weeks of it, right?
right.
there.
So I guess to stop myself from rambling here, Monday is introducing the game plan, the alignments, any adjustments to our base stuff, any pressures I feel like are going to be necessary that week. Do I put in new stuff for a game plan? Sometimes, if I feel like it builds off of something we already do. And I feel like it would be a simple coaching point to get done in those individual periods on Monday. And like you said, after 20, 25 minutes of Indy, if that skill is not sticking, I might need to look at, and maybe we have to go back to the drawing board and run this next week and not this week.
Right.
And if it's sticking, then cool, we'll keep working it and we'll insert into the game plan. But also we need inside and scale on Monday. Work the fit, even if it's a slower pace. Work the fits, work the coverages, work the drops. Make sure those kids have a visual of everything.
You said you're chasing rabbits, not ghosts. And rabbits are real. Ghosts are fake. You don't believe in ghosts?
No.
Come on, man.
No, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in luck.
That's true. You don't coach baseball that much.
No, I don't. I'm a recovering baseball coach.
Gotcha.
You know, If that's even a thing. Talk to me about Tuesday, G. What are we doing on
Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Okay,
man?
so Tuesday's kind of your second heavy day, I guess you can say, because the rest of the week's kind of going to start winding down, especially with JV. So I think you win a lot of games in third downs. So Tuesday we're going to have a big emphasis on third downs. I think we still need to do scale and inside, but hey, third and 12, third and 9, third and 6, third and 1, or third and 3. Um, that way, now you're starting to see, okay, can my base plays get me the third and 12? Can my base plays get me the third and 9? Do I have to run the ball on third and 3? Do I have to throw the ball on third and 12? What can we do in those situations? What are the kids comfortable doing when they hear the situation and they have to go out and do it? Okay. You know, along with that, I think this is a heavy indie day as well, because now you've had one day of the install. Okay, so they got it under their belt. Now let's really work on the technique and the how are we getting to that, what we talked about last week, whole part whole. This is a big day for the part as far as indie goes. You know, work on the technique. Hey, we're doing a lot of pulls this week, so we might need a bucket step a crap ton inside of indie. We're doing a lot of quick games, so quarterbacks, I call it the rocker step. We're going to do a lot of rocker step. And
Debut of the rocker step, baby. I love that coaching point. Go on, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We're going to do that during Indy. But third downs, and along with third downs, blitz pickup, because third down's a heavy blitz down, especially in the high school. I mean, they blitz all the time, but third downs, you're going to get a lot of blitzes. So you got to do some blitz pickup, get your offensive line ready for that, get your quarterback's eyes ready to see where his read is on the 5-man, 6-man, 7-man. So third downs and blitz pickups would be my Tuesday.
So I wanna sidebar on third down for a second here. I read a message board from time to time, CoachHuey.com. It's a network of coaches. Yeah, network of coaches, and there's a lot of really good conversation that takes place on there. It's not a fan message board. It legit is a X's and O's situational, basically what we're doing here in message board form, and it's awesome. And there's this guy on there. He has 15,000 posts. He's been on this website for 15 years.
He's got a lot to say.
He does have a lot to say, and he'll devil's advocate a little bit, not in a mean way, but he'll drive the conversation. I think he's an older guy. Mm-hmm. So one time with regards to practicing third down, he said, "Do the kids really get anything from practicing third down? Like, does us specifying in practice, hey, this is a third down period. We got 3 plays of third and 12, 3 plays of third and 9, and so on down the line. Does that trigger anything in their mind that relates to the game?" Because his argument was it doesn't. It doesn't. He's like, well, I could say it's 3rd and 10 at practice. Who cares? You know, does practicing third down get your kids in the third down mentality that'll translate to Friday night?
Does it trigger yours as a coach?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Well, then I think it does as a player as well. Because if you're saying, hey, this is third down, 3rd and 10, okay, and we got curls, do you think that receiver is going to run an 8-yard curl?
Depends what he's taught to do.
No, he's going to run to the sticks in third. You know, if you have a 3rd and 5 situation, or I'm sorry, let's go 3rd and 1, and you got, let's say we got inside zone. You think the running back's going to try to bounce it?
No, he shouldn't.
Like he knows that they're going to know the situation, and they're going to understand, and that's our job as coaches to put an emphasis on that. To hey, let's this ain't just another play. This is third down. Like, we got to get this to continue the drive. This might be the game-winning drive, or this might be the 4-minute offense. Hey, we got to run the clock out. We can't get to 4th down. So, if you put an emphasis on it, your kids will put an emphasis on it.
Situational experts. It goes back to that teaching, though. They'll take serious what you treat serious.
Mm-hmm.
I really do believe that. For me, man, Tuesday, we're going to continue base downs. You know, we're going to continue our base down looks, continue their favorite stuff. We might start trickling in some of their other stuff they do, maybe not as much. I call it the best of the rest. But it depends on how confident I am versus the base down stuff versus their bread and butter. And something else I want to talk about is situation, because I firmly believe Tuesday, and I'm going to just jump into Wednesday real quick, there needs to be a live situation. So you asked me in the rapid fire segment about good on good, 101D. I think there needs to be a focused, and however many minutes it goes, we can debate that all day long. There needs to be a live situation. For example, we saw a huge amount of screens this year, okay? And we didn't particularly play well against screens first 2 weeks of the year. So from then on, it was we need a screen period on that Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that has to be good on good, because that I need maximum effort. I need the defense chasing varsity guys, because obviously defending anything is about technique, but I need them to see live plays against faster guys.
Right.
Because that's a pursuit drill, a screenplay. And there's a whole lot of Twitter conversation about pursuit drills, but I'll save that for another time. But there needs to be a situation on Tuesday, Wednesday, whether it could be a screen period, it could be a goal line, it could be blitz pickup for you. Third downs. But there has to be a live situation on that Tuesday with its good on good. And then when you get to your team section of practice, when you get to team, to me, mix it up. Give me some good on good. Then you can start sprinkling in some trusted backups, and then obviously quarterback's not live.
Right.
People like that. But I think you got to keep a mixture of talent to service the other side of the ball. But as far as what we're working on, bread and butter stuff, base down stuff, and got to have a live situation. Got to.
And, to kind of go back to what I was saying, yeah, these are my emphasis, like the coming out gotchas, third down blitz pickup. But I'm still working on those, the base install for that week. That's just like whenever we get to situational stuff, like, we're not just running scale to run scale. Like there's going to be, at least the offensive perspective, there's going to be third downs. Hey, we're running this on third, like everything's third down. Whenever we're at Scout 1-0 versus Scout D, like, hey, we're coming out -5, like you can't get sacked, you can't get tackled for a loss here, and we're moving the ball. So on top of what's emphasized, like we're still running our base install.
So let's go to Wednesday now. Call it JV Day.
JV Day.
Let's go to Wednesday and talk to me about Wednesday through Thursday from an offensive standpoint.
Okay, so Wednesday, like you said, it's JV Day. So you don't have your entire team. The way we did it was we had our beginning of practice with stretch, indie, some special teams. And then after that, JV went in and got ready. So with that, all you had left was the guys that weren't on JV that were just strictly varsity. So you didn't have as many people, so we did good on good. But the emphasis of Wednesday for the offensive perspective in my eyes is red zone and score zone. The reason being it's a shorter day, right? You don't have that many red zone. You shouldn't have like 1,000 red zone plays. Like you have your handful of plays along with the base offense that you're running in order to get you points. Score zone is just -35 in. You have to get some type of points whenever you get to the the plus 35 in.
Mm-hmm.
So those two, like, there's not as many plays in the playbook for red zone. So it's a shorter day. You touch on those plays then.
As your practice gets shorter, you start working on the more specific situations where you're not going to have a plethora of plays.
Correct. Exactly.
I'm a big believer on JV Day, and having a little bit of experience making a schedule, it doesn't always work out the way you put it down as far as who you're playing and that sort of and when you're playing. But I really think you shouldn't try to travel to the end of the earth to go play a JV game.
I agree.
For the sake of your preparation for Friday.
I'm sure Coach Brownfield will agree with the freshmen as well.
Yes, very much, very, very, very much so.
Quick sidebar. Brownfield wanted to choke me the time I picked up a JV game in the middle of the week at ED White. And Thibodeau's not that far, but on a Wednesday night, Thibodeau's a little bit of a hike on a Wednesday.
That's tough.
Weather. Thank God for weather.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle Lassane, friend of the show, my man. Always looking to get that competition.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. We gotta have him on. He would enjoy this. But along the reason I say don't send your JV and freshmen to the end of the earth, because you still gotta have coaches and players and preparation for your Friday night game.
Yes.
So it is my belief you got to get that practice in, and something we did here that. And this is no knock on anybody. So if you're listening and you're trying to start that trash, then go somewhere else with it. But I think you got to keep all your players at practice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't divide your coaching staff. Don't divide your players. Try to get, if it's an hour, all you got is an hour, then make that hour worthwhile and send everybody in. You know what I mean? Don't divide your resources, because you don't have a ton of them in high school.
Right.
You only got a certain amount of coaches. You only got a certain amount of players. So, my opinion, if it's an hour and 20, then we need to get and this needs to be established from day one. The kids got to know JV day. Now they shouldn't be messing around anyway, but there's extra urgency to get out to the field because we got to get practice in. And my Wednesday emphasis as far as game planning goes, third downs, tricks. This is where we go over our blitzes, might be on air, might be in our live situation, depending on where our live situation is, but there needs to be another live situation on Wednesday. Short Indy, special teams, live situation, team. Get out of there, get on the bus, give everybody a sandwich, and go to JV. And I think that's a good way to have a focused, intentional practice on a Wednesday. Because I really find when you send the JV inside, you only have a certain amount of coaches left.
Right.
You have a certain amount of coaches helping get the JV ready. And a certain amount of coaches helping get your varsity ready. And that's your moneymaker right there, is the varsity game. So have a focused practice. But again, to keep our theme here, third downs, live situation.
Yeah, and then, after a JV game, you got your one day, you got Thursday. Some guys practice, some guys don't. Being that we had an hour and a half block, we don't really need a practice because we can get a lot accomplished. We're not lifting weights, so we have almost the entire hour and a half to get what we need done. I'm not going to put on pads anyway. Mm-hmm. So let's go out there with our helmets. As far as the offense goes, I call it the perfect play. I'm going to have 20 plays scripted, and we got to run it to perfection. When I say perfection, everybody's got to have their first 3 steps. This is on air. Everybody, first 3 steps got to be there. Handoffs got to be clean. Snaps got to be clean. If it's a pass play, routes got to be clean. Throws got to be good. We're going to do 20 perfect plays. Get those perfect plays. It might be the top 7. It might include your trick plays, so on and so forth. After you get to those 20, now you work your end-of-game situations and the pass situations. Mm-hmm. Now let's hit that trick play. Even if we hit it on during perfect play, we're going to hit it again day before the game. Put it fresh in their minds. End of game, second to last play. Some people don't even think about, hey, we got to get a second to last play.
You taught me that.
You might have a quarterback that can only throw it 35, 40 yards in the air. But if you're on the minus 40, you need 20 yards.
You need 2 plays.
Yeah. So, you got 12 seconds left. Okay, let's run up the second to last play, try to get another chunk of yards, get out of bounds with about 5 seconds left. 4 seconds left. Now we can throw the Hail Mary in our quarterback's range, give ourselves a chance.
And you talk about above the ears on Monday. Hell, Thursday is above the ears too.
Oh, yeah.
Because
above the neck.
Yeah, above the neck. Sorry, between the ears, above the neck, around the corner, whatever. Think of Washington, Oregon Pac-12 championship. That running back got the first down slid. Mm-hmm. To me, that's where you introduce those nuggets of information. Stuff that wouldn't come up the rest of the week. But we're talking about sealing the game here,
right?
In those end of game situations, man, you got to know when it's take a knee, when it's I say take a knee, I'm sorry, when it's get the first down and slide,
right.
When it's stay in bounds, even if your momentum's taking you out of bounds. Defensively, keep them in bounds. Mm-hmm. We're trying to don't run them out. We're trying to make the tackle at all costs in bounds, and you're the one that taught me the second to last play things. I never thought about that before. What is your second to last play? Because they can't reach the end zone,
Right.
And,
Do you have a timeout? Are you out of timeouts? I mean,
and defensively, that second to last play allows you to be. It depends on your style, but you could be a little aggressive right there. You don't have to necessarily get in prevent. Now you could back safeties up and you could loosen alignments and things, but if you want to run a line stunt, if you want to maybe send one backer, if you want to run a little game there, you still have an opportunity to because you got to make sure you don't give up the bomb and the yards after the catch, right? Because he's not going to reach the end zone, but you got the yards after the catch. So you got to make sure you're making tackles right there. Thursday, man, to me, it's a heavy specials day. It's a heavy specials day because for defense, our situations are based off of yours on offense. What do you do for the Hail Mary? What do you do second to last play? Making sure you're tackling guys inbounds to keep the clock running and making sure our guys understand why. Pass rush situations inside of 2 minutes. And that's largely our Thursday. But a heavy specials day, kickoff, deep, squib, onside. Punt defense, safe, return block. And again, on air, just quick reps. But, if you're a kick deep all the time team, you better work a squib. And maybe it's Thursday you work the squib.
right.
Same thing with punt. Regular punt, and then you might not work your fake a ton, but Thursday the time to get that extra rep on that fake punt. Kickoff return. What happens after a safety? Get your hands team a rep. Get your regular return a rep. Tight punt if you're backed up inside the shadow of your own goalpost. How to take a safety. How many teams practice how to take a safety?
It's tough.
Zachary did it against us in the playoffs in 21. They had to take a safety. We were out of timeouts. They had to punt, but they didn't want to give us the ball back. It was a one-score game. And credit to those guys. They called the timeout and take a safety. I guarantee you. I don't know what they said, but I guarantee you it was take a safety. Remember that play where we run around and you kill the clock? Yeah, coach, do that. Done. Because they worked on it. And then, like you said last week, my favorite Thursday special teams play, no-time field goal,
Right.
baby.
A no-time field goal.
No-time field goal. I love the situation of that because the kids got to get I feel like there's that urgency, and I love hustle, and I love hustle plays, and I love the urgency that unit has to get that field goal off. And then last day of practice, everybody celebrates when you make it. You go inside and
It might be a reward of no conditioning if you make it.
maybe
type
so,
thing.
maybe so.
Since we condition every day.
We'll throw a little reward in there, man.
No, but more that we go into Thursday is like, things that you might see more than like you think, like clock, like spiking, the fake spike, you're on the right hash, you got to get to the middle to give your kicker a chance. So run, get what you can, slide, take a knee, don't get held up in a pile, losing time. So I don't know. I think we called it like bullseye or target or something. You receive the snap and then haul tail to the middle of the field or the middle of the hashes and take a knee. And we call the timeout, kick the field goal, win the game.
Well,
and then the best play in football, victory. You got to work it. You have to work it.
So quickly, let's talk about how to manage the PE period.
Okay.
What do you need out of your PE period in a general sense throughout the week?
Well, so
like not necessarily the day by day, but just in a general sense, what are you trying to get accomplished before we go outside?
And we're gonna continue to speak on how we have it here. We have an hour and a half. Monday and Tuesday is lifting for our guys. It's about a 45-minute lift. So you're talking about 45 minutes on a Monday and 45 minutes on a Tuesday, at best. That's without dressing in, dressing out. Monday, we're gonna do strictly walk through inside, install. If we have enough time, I'll put on film again, like of the opponent. I like to kind of do that as an introduction on Saturday after we finish watching the game. Hey, it's over, flush it. No, this is our new opponent. But Monday, we might watch a little bit of film, try to get an ID on their opponent or the guy they're going to face. And that's pretty much it. Like, I'm not going to overload it. We're going to talk about the new install and trick plays, walk through, and then we go outside and do kind of the same thing.
See, my emphasis is on how much time do I have. How much time do I have? Because my objective, so to speak, for the block. Obviously, I said Monday I'm introducing the slides and the base plays, and the rest of the week, the plays they're going to see at practice on the script, because I script and the cards and whatever scout team's running, they're going to see about probably 10 plays of those. I want them to see it on tape. I'm going to walk through the coaching points for them. I'm going to ask them how to call the strength or declare the front or declare the coverage, whatever adjustments or alignments or communication they have to go through. But it's going to be directly related to what's on the script. And that comes with being organized. You got to know that's why you can't just go out there and shoot from the hip. I have, even if the script is not on paper yet, I know what plays I'm putting on paper before I walk outside and before I walk into that block. That way I could show that to them in huddle. And that I really think that helps a lot because you get that visual and then you get to go outside and rep it a little while later. We kind of touched on in the Monday to Thursday the importance of scout team and live reps. Talk to me a little bit about scout and live, scout team versus live reps.
I'm gonna make this very quick. I'm kind of getting short on time here, but if you're on the scout team, you're on the scout team for a reason, and you are trying to prove yourself for that jersey on Friday. Like, this isn't just a lollygag, and it feeds into everybody. So like if the scout team's just gonna stand there, the offense is just gonna stand there. So you have to have a coach that can help run that scout team, give them a motor, give them something to look forward to, as well as the offense. Like, hey, we got to keep this going. Like, scout team, you're working for a jersey on Friday. Like, if you want to dress, like, show me you can do it. And then on top of that, offensive guys, we see the defensive scout. There might be a linebacker that's killing us. Like, hey, Coach Pell, this guy is like crushing us right now. Like, have you taken a look at him? No, I haven't seen him. You need to watch him.
That happened to us a couple of years back. We had a receiver. We would we go a true scout team. We split the field and so we have a coach playing quarterback, throwing it up to Alan Stark. He is just mossing every DB, and I'm like, our DB is just not going hard today. Like, what's going on? And no, he was just that good. We had that exact conversation in the office. Next week, he's in the starting lineup. And I think he's at Grambling now.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, college football player just chilling on the scout team because he wasn't a loud kid. He wasn't he did his job. He did what he was asked to do. But, boy, even in the scout team, proved himself. Got in the starting lineup, caught some big passes for us down the stretch. I think, man, the importance, whether it's live reps, scout reps, showing the cards, I think the biggest thing is, I said it earlier, do not divide your resources because you don't have enough.
No.
There's no GAs here. There's none of that. There's no assistant to the assistant coach. There's no assistant linebackers coach. You know what I'm saying? So let your offensive coaches coach the offensive scout. Let your defensive coaches coach the defensive scout. That way you could relate the verbiage of your plays. Hey, guys, this is just like our X, Y, and Z coverage. This is just like our X, Y, and Z front. And then you coach them to play their responsibility as if it was your defense, not to take it easy. But don't divide your resources. And I know that lends itself to there might be more standing around, maybe by the guys who aren't getting reps necessarily. But I definitely think and there's a ton of ways to fix that, and I don't have nearly all the answers because every staff I've been on, you try to eliminate the amount of lollygagging and standing around. But I definitely think when it comes to the importance of getting that plan together, you cannot divide your resources because you don't have enough of them.
Yeah.
You just don't. And I want, and that's a good way to get some of your JV guys. Look, man, if you're assigned to the A gap, even if we don't run this front, but if you're assigned to the A gap, well, son, play the A gap the same way you would play it if we were running such and such defense. Okay, coach. The same way we teach you to play the A gap in our defense, play it this way. And I'm being facetious here, but sometimes that light bulb goes off, and I'm like, was that groundbreaking coaching right there? Maybe not, but
It's
you know,
like-
it gave him a good look, and that's what you're going for.
We had an incident with the scout D. Like, man, like we're running cover 3, like getting cover 3, coach. And it's the young guys; they don't really know as much. Like, I said, "Dang it, run green!" And he was like, "Oh, okay." Like he knew exactly what to do.
Yeah. So, Coach Brownfield, man, I think it's about that time. What do you think, man?
I spit in the face.
I think
of
it is.
people who don't want to be cool.
Do y'all want
Man.
me to set the tone on this one?
I really want you to set the tone on this one because I think there was some confusion about what the list is, and Brownfield said it best. The list is what you say it is.
Yeah.
A list of superlatives. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be somewhere in between. It could just be somebody who got under your skin, ruffled your feathers that week. However, Coach G, start us off with the list.
These people get under my skin. That is not your job list.
Uh-oh.
Bleacher coaches.
Uh-oh.
Let me tell you something.
Take me back to my baseball days.
Shut up. I want to say more than that, but I'm going to just keep it as shut up.
Coach, that's a curse word now. You
I-
got to be careful.
I think it was Coach Ricka that told, like, we don't show up to the plants at 7 a.m. in the morning and tell you how to do your job. Like, but you get to get off of work and you get to come watch us do our job. Shut up. Eat your nachos, drink your Coke, and shut up. Like, if I could just wake up on a Friday and go to a game and be a coach, like, I'd do it.
Who wouldn't?
But there's more that goes into it than just calling a play. Oh, run the ball. You run the ball. Pass the ball. Shut up.
Speaking of groundbreaking information right there, huh?
Friggin' take your flask out your pocket, pour it in your Coke, and shut up.
And relax. Yeah.
Like, oh, feet putain. Got the Cajun French coming out of me this morning all
Is
early.
it still G-rated if he curses in Cajun French?
I don't think anybody understands what I'm saying.
Depends who's listening, Coach.
Never be surprised.
Coach Brownfield, talk to us about your list for the week.
All right. If you watched the Iowa-Michigan game, God bless you. I watched the whole thing. I still don't know why.
Why'd you
I
do
think
that to
I think
yourself?
I'm fascinated by it. It's like a train wreck, right? Everybody rubbernecks. Like Iowa offense is like a rubberneck deal. So they punted, which they did like 15 times. They lead the country in punt yardage. They actually have 1,000 more yards of punt yardage than they do offense.
Oh,
That is
my
ridiculous.
goodness.
It's incredible. But they were 10-2, by the way, guys, playing in the Big 10 championship game. Punt the ball, Michigan returns it 90 yards. Guy who misses the tackle, the first tackle on him at like the 7-yard line, gets back up, sprints all the way down the field, catches him at the 3.
Do we have a clip of that?
See if we can put that in there. Depends on how things go today. It's on the Twitter feed. It's on the it's on our X Twitter feed there. Incredible hustle play. Reminds me of Ben Watson's play. When he was at was that the Saints or Georgia? Was that all the way back at Georgia? God, I'm old, man. But there have been a few of these. There's 3 or 4 of these like extreme hustle plays. That was one of them. And like for that guy to miss the tackle and to pop up and not be hating himself and upset, but just pop up, run. Let's keep playing through the whistle. And I just thought, so like my list right there is just like the greatest hustle plays of all time list, and that guy made the top 5 right there.
I love it. I love it. Respect to that, Pete.
So, I guess I'll go next. Ooh, I love the CM Punk music. It's clobbering time, baby. Anyway, who makes the list for me this week? I had trouble, and then I didn't. Those who don't look at high school coordinators for head coaching jobs, if you look at every other level of football, they will take a successful coordinator and give that man an opportunity to be a head coach. I say give. He earned it, and they respected that experience enough to get him in the door, interview him, and give that man a chance. In high school, though, coordinators are not always looked at as some of the cream of the crop selection for these open head coaching jobs. And I'm not talking about anywhere specific, but as somebody who's trying to get a head coaching job and has been for a few years now, that's something I noticed. Largely, they want experience, and I understand why.
How do you get experience?
There you go. How do you get experience? But it's just it boggles my mind that our business is a little different than the way the private sector works, where it's okay. Well, I want my accountant to have 5 years of accounting experience. That makes sense. I want my head coach to have head coaching experience, but also, what about the guys who are really coaching half of the team? Like, you're looking at a coordinator like, well, he ain't got experience. Well, he was literally assigned half the team,
Right.
and ultimately responsible for them. So my list is the people I want to prove wrong list, and those who don't look at high school coordinators as legitimate options for head coaching opportunities. You just made the list.
It's time for a refill, pal.
I think it's time for a refill. I know you guys have duty.
We got duty.
Man, at CAF Coordinators on X/Twitter, at Scott Impel on X/Twitter and TikTok. G, tell them who you are and where to find you.
At Coach Gaspard on Twitter/X. Coach Brownfield.
All right, there we go, guys. That's another great episode, number 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll be doing video from now on, whether you like it or not. You can always just, not look at the screen if it's not what you were
Close your
hoping
eyes.
for. Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, learn to love it. Woo!
We'll see you guys next time.
Next
See ya.
time.
Later.